Matt Graber. I got a 1951 Chevy truck named Rusty.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Chris with TRC, and I think I have something pretty special for you today.
Rusty is, it's a 1989 S10 chassis. It's got a 51 Chevy 3100 cab. It's got 52 doors. It's got a 64 Chevrolet bed. It's been cut down to fit the chassis. The suspension, it's all factory S10 leaf spring rear. I got a set of homemade slapper bars on it. I got a set of homemade anti-roll bar that was built out of a 03 Chevy 2500 truck that we cut down, and we got some heim joints from Tractor Supply and made it all work. The truck doesn't really flex that much on a 60-foot hit. Simple stuff anybody can do out of their garage. So the history on Rusty, why we got it, 1996, I was 6 years old. My dad brought home a 1967 Firebird. It was a family project. Me, my dad, and my grandpa worked day in, day out, getting it ready, repainting it, doing a full resto on it. And we currently was racing it at the time. My grandpa passed away, and me and my dad sat down and decided it probably wasn't the best idea to keep racing that car, to keep it around as long as we can. So in 2018, I purchased Rusty to replace the Firebird as far as something to race. You know, when we put it in the guardrail, it's a lot less sentimental value than that Firebird. Sheet metal can be replaced. You can't replace memories you had with your family. So that was the main reason I came up with Rusty. It's got a 396 high-rise intake and 325 horse.
You serious?
Yeah, let's hear the real details.
Well, really, it's a 496, and it's got a Callie's crank, rods, SRP pistons, 12.5 to 1 compression, Pro Comp aluminum heads, 335 cc. Motor's probably making 700 horse. On this current setup, it's a 125 shot. It went 603 at 115 and 1/8 of a mile. But we have a 300 shot on it now, and hoping to go to Memphis here in the next few months and get a 1/4 of a mile time and try to get the new personal best. The transmission is a fully built Power Glide, deep aluminum pan, BTE nitrous converter, BTE flex plate, it's a trans brake. We got a drive shaft custom built. We got an 8/8 Ford rear end in it, 31 spline axles, mini spool, stock axles, basic stuff. So the fuel system, it's got an A1000 fuel pump. It's got a custom aluminum 15-gallon fuel cell mounted in the rear. The pump's feeding a Aeromotive fuel regulator going to a 1050 Dominator carburetor built by Allstate carburetors. The nitrous system is the NX twin Gemini. I think the plate goes up to 800-900 shot. Currently we can't do that with the motor build, but it's there if we want to. It's got a NOS mini controller on it. Pretty simple, straightforward setup. Just trying to keep the truck as simple as I can. So when I got Rusty, it was a straight up rat rod. It had a stock RV 454 in it, a turbo 400 transmission. It even had the factory 7.5-inch rear end out of the S10. Since then, I put a cam and heads on the stock motor, ran it for about a couple months, decided to put a 250 shot on it on stock pistons, and didn't go so well. So blew it up, and then we purchased another stock 454 and dropped it in Rusty and ran it for a couple months, and then decided it'd be a great idea to do a turbo big block with a blow-through homemade carburetor. Well, that worked fine for about 2 months, and me being the guy I am, pushed it a little too hard, popped that motor. So since then, I purchased this 496, built it in my shop, and we've been spraying nitrous on it ever since.
Yeah, so definitely on the dig hit coming off the trans brake, smacked myself, bleeding. It happens.
So I purchased a 496 that's currently in the truck now, but I went ahead and took that turbo system that was off that stock 454 and put it on this 496 with the same blow-through carburetor. Would you know it, I blew up that motor also. So after rebuilding that motor for the second time, the 496, we decided to go back nitrous, since that seems to be a little bit easier on the motors and my capability of tuning. And so as of now, we've ran it for probably a year on the current build and had 0 issues with it. Currently, I'm the only one that's been working on the truck, helping my dad, friends and families, do all the tuning myself, the welding myself. The welds aren't the prettiest, but it's all about getting out there having fun and not worrying about trying to spend $100,000 to have fun. The wheels on Rusty, they're a Jegs brand wheel, 15 by 6 in the front, 15 by 10 in the rear. The rear tires are 28 10.5 by 15. The wheels were black with a machined lip on them, and what I did is I painted them with a copper paint and let it dry, and then I took a Scotch pad with brake cleaner and lightly scuffed it to get the patina black look on it, and then then I went over it with a turquoise paint with a brush, just kind of accented it a little bit better. On the Hoosiers, when I purchased these tires 2 days ago, they were a bright white color and it just did not go on the truck. So I put my little spin on it. I painted the Hoosiers with the same copper paint and lightly scuffed them with brake clean and made it look like the lettering is just as old as the truck. The cam on Rusty is a Crane billet cam, solid roller setup. It's got chrome moly push rods, 1:7-to-1 ratio, roller rockers, all ARP and all Dart hardware. The cam is a 734 lift roller cam. It's got the retrofit kit with the button on the timing chain. It's a double roller timing chain setup. It's got a ATI balancer. It's got titanium valves. It's a 2.50 intake valve diameter, 1.880 exhaust valve diameter. It's got 2-inch headers going into a 3.5-inch collector. It has 6 3.5-inch bullets on it, believe it or not, to try to quieten the sound down. It don't seem to help at all. The ignition system on Rusty, it's a MSD 6AL2 programmable. The ignition box got a HEI distributor. It's been retrofitted to talk to the box, which is also tied in with the NOS Mini controller to make sure all the timing's pulled correctly for the amount of horsepower shot of nitrous we're adding to it, and to also be able to look currently at the timing that's on the truck and making adjustments at the track, pull timing when we need to add it back. So on Rusty, some of the features I added was the door arc. When I got it, it was just straight up rust looking. Did the Dodge Challenger gas flap to cover up the factory gas flap hole. We did the front clip. Whenever I got it, the factory S10 frame horns stuck out about 2 extra foot. So I chopped them and added a rack and pinion steering instead of the gearbox, so I can compensate for the extra length that I was having to cut off the truck. And I added the hood, the 51 model Chevrolet grill, the radiator, all the front components, built the steering linkage, parts from Tractor Supply, Heim joints that you get off a tractor, along with a Zuzu rack and pinion. The interior Rusty, when I got it, it was pretty much bare bones. Put the seat in it, put a hoop in it with a 4-point racing harness, added the door panels, did that myself, stuff from Hobby Lobby, painted the inside door panels with lettering, stencils from Hobby Lobby, added the transmission tunnel decorations. One of the license plates is from the Muscle Car Nationals that my grandpa went to. He raced his car, and I took that license plate, and it's currently on the transmission tunnel of Rusty. So it's just kind of bits and pieces added to it. So on the back of Rusty, in the bed area, welded some wrenches I had laying around, welded them together, and made the art for the bed, wrapped Graber's Garage stencils that we did to kind of tie it all back together. So the intake on Rusty is a custom sheet metal blower. It's got a custom aircraft grade composite hefty 13-gallon top hat to allow the extra airflow into Rusty at high rates of speed. The wife got tired of me having to take the trash out, so I figured I'd do her a favor and just incorporate it onto Rusty.